Hello and welcome to Switch Flicks, the show where we love and hate movies at the same time. I'm your host Haisam, and with me today is my Mad Max adjacent friend, Cranky Katie. How you doing, Katie?
Hi, so I'm cranky. But let me just say it's an absolute Anya Taylor joy to be here today. Can I just
You
say,
told me.
hi, someone told me 5 minutes ago, don't forget to do the joke. So that's no reflection on my comedic ability.
Let's begin with the rules of the show.
The rules of the show are simple. Our critics review a film, but one of them has to love it and the other has to hate it. And who does what is determined by the flip of a coin. But there's another catch. At any point during the debate, either one of them can shout, "Switch!" At which point, the opponents have to instantly switch positions. So if they loved it, they now have to hate it, and if they hated it, now they have to love it. Let the games begin!
We're now about to flip the coin of fate. If it lands on heads, Katie has to love Furiosa. If it lands on tails, she has to hate it. Here goes
Okay.
nothing.
Tails.
Tails, you hate Furiosa. So I will begin. Furiosa, part of the Mad Max saga. And indeed, this movie was a saga. It was incredible. It was epic. It had some of the best car chases I've ever seen. It had some of the great acting, writing, and world building that I have ever seen. I was absolutely furiously in love with Furiosa.
It's something we've seen before. We've seen all of this before in Fury Road. When you say the world building, we've seen it before. The stunts, we've seen it before. It's exactly the same movie. Nothing has changed. They've changed nothing about it.
Oh,
Boring.
no, listen, I loved Fury Road, right? But Fury Road was just one long, car chase. What this movie does is that it gives us an epic story, a story from kind of childhood to the this woman coming to her womanhood.
Which is another long car chase. Just stretched over a few more years, that's all.
Isn't a car chase just a metaphor for all our lives? And that's what this movie gets so right. Let's begin by talking about the action set pieces. Have you seen in your entire life any better car chases, car stunts, better visualized, better shot action scenes? I haven't.
Yes, I have, yeah. In The Fall Guy a
No.
couple of weeks ago, and also in Fury Road.
Oh, wow. Don't even compare Fall Guy to this movie, right? The Fall Guy has no imagination. It's getting off by on Ryan Gosling's abs, right? Over here, do we get Chris Hemsworth abs? Yes. But we also get a completely unhinged performance by him. Um,
Switch.
we get a completely unhinged performance by Chris Hemsworth. He is more like Chris Hemsworthless, is I think is what I would call him. He gives so much screen time. He's just hamming it up. I was just so incredibly annoyed with his character. I don't
And
know what the
that's
hell
the
he's doing.
beauty of it. He's the evil guy. He's the villain. You want to be annoyed by his character. Then they've succeeded. You're annoyed by him. He's the villain. So
I think it's so one note though, he's just like the crazy guy. And the first, I think 45 minutes, 50 minutes of the movie are just kind of about him. And I don't really care. Like I get his, what his character is, and I get that he's evil and kind of insane in those time. It's just such a waste of time. This movie was so long.
no, it wasn't long. And in fact, it could have been longer. We could have had this story stretched out over a much longer time period. It could have been in two parts. Could have been in three parts. Could have been a series. There was so much to pack in there, and it was such good stuff. And
No.
Chris Hemsworth's character, we only need surface level this guy. He's evil. That's all we need to know.
I think you're right when you talk about how long it is and how densely packed it is, and the movie can't hold all the story together. There's way too much story. It's trying to talk about like what 16, 17 years of this person's life, and all we get is some like bullet points and car chase, and you don't really get like a fully fleshed out story or movie.
No, it's fully fleshed out. It's full. It's well done. When I say it could be longer, it's just a testament to how good the movie is and how much I was enjoying it.
Switch.
And when I say it could have been longer, what I mean was it needed to be way shorter. Way shorter, this movie. In fact, they could have done this in a short story. 15 minutes. That's all I needed. Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I think this
Yeah.
movie could be a series of short films, right? It's broken down into these different chapters. And I absolutely love it when filmmakers do that. Not pretentious at all, I feel. Like different chapters, great idea. And it is kind of episodic, yes, but you get so many movies within one movie. And again, you compare it to Fury Road, I think, George Miller was walking in Fury Road so he could run into other cars in Furiosa. He
So
did
pretentious. So pretentious. Who does this movie think it is? Breaking it up into chapters like that.
it.
So pretentious.
It is. It thinks it's one of the greatest action films of our time, of our generation. I think I'm so bored of seeing more of those Marvel films and these CGI battles. Here we get practical effects, practical stunts, cars actually hitting each other, gymnastics. I loved it. I mean, this movie is Cirque du Soleil meets Fast and Furious. And if that doesn't
Switch.
stop, this movie is Cirque du Soleil meets Fast and Furious. It mixes you know, the action scenes that we get from one of those Fast and Furious movies, which are so much better than this. You want some real car chases? Watch Fast X. Watch Vin Diesel. Now that's a real actor, not any of this Chris Hemsworth, Anna Taylor Joy bullshit. And then in Fury Road, you had Charlize Theron, right? And she was driving that film. She was so great in it. And you replaced her with Anya Taylor Joy. She is not remotely, she does not hold a candle to the original performance of
She's
Furiosa.
absolutely fantastic, as is the young girl that plays her when she was a child. These performances are some of the best I've seen all year, especially Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth, and the guy that plays Jack too. Absolutely fantastic performances.
No, so we have Anya Taylor Joy. All she has is big eyes and a fringe, and they remove the fringe. All that's left is the big eyes, and it's not enough for this film. And she's not even in enough of the movie. Like the first hour of this movie is like just this child.
Yeah, because
If
we
I wanted
need
to see
the
children, I would go
backstory.
to the playground.
We need the backstory, her backstory, and that is so important because the movie is so rounded. Okay, it starts with this natural world, and then it ends with her with this peach tree. She's had this stone, this pip, this seed in her hair the whole time, and it's just a perfectly rounded story. So we need all of that.
I mean, I don't think we need all of it at all. Like, I think we got enough of this backstory. What this is a cash grab. And not only is it a cash grab, it's a cash grab that's not working because the movie isn't making any money at the box
Switch.
office. This movie should be making more money at the box office. It is such a shame that people don't want to watch original films that excite us. Instead, they want to rehash the same old films. And I'm just disappointed in our audience.
I don't think anyone's going to want to go and see this at the cinema. For one, they'll be able to experience it at home soon anyway. And what's the need to see this in the cinema? This isn't shot in a particularly good way to go. You don't particularly want to go and sit in the cinema and watch this.
The cinematography of this movie is absolutely stunning. It is as good, if not better, than Dune. The sound effects are spectacular. The music, the background score, all of it. This is one of those things that you have to experience in the cinema.
It's too loud. It's metal grinding. It's crashing. It's smashing. It's too loud, and it's just unnecessarily loud.
It's wow, I can't believe what you just said. That is unnecessarily loud. I think you're probably just saying that because you don't believe in having strong female characters lead movies. And that's what we get with Furiosa. you get this incredible new hero for women to look up to. She is as capable as anybody. She's better than Mad Max, really. And you, as a bigot, probably don't want that to happen.
No, absolutely not. Why would we need another female lead in Hollywood yet again? Give this to Chris Hemsworth. Why are we why are we giving this to Anya Taylor-Joy? We need another Chris Hemsworth movie. Him as the lead. Yeah, and why have we got, it just goes to show as well, we've got this female lead, yet she still needs to be helped by men. She can't seem to figure her way out of this herself. So she has to call upon, this guy, Jack, who's going to be there to save the day.
Listen, Katie, you're doing your argument all wrong. Let me actually help you with your argument and make it better. As a man, I think I can do that for you. What you're trying to say is that, let me just stop me if I'm explaining this wrongly. You're saying that this is a great end for our podcast, and we should probably talk about what our real feelings are now.
That's exactly. Thank you for mansplaining that to me, Sam.
Well, Katie, what did you really think about Mad Max Fury?
Glad that is over.
What did you really think about Furiosa?
Why did I have to end on me being anti-feminist? Because what I really thought, hopefully everybody's still tuned in, what I really thought about Furiosa was that I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. And everything about it as well. I had a great time in the cinema. It's gone straight into possibly my top 3 films of the year.
Okay. Yeah. What are your top 3 films of the year so far?
We're going for Dune. Mm-hmm. We're going for Furiosa. And there's a bit of a switch up between something like Immaculate and Monster.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't watched Immaculate or Monster yet, but I'll get there. Hopefully, now that I know it's so high up on your list. Tell me more about what you loved about Furiosa.
I loved the storyline. I loved how this just sort of seamlessly flows into Fury Road, which, by the way, just reminded me of how much I enjoyed Fury Road, actually. I didn't rewatch it before I watched Furiosa, which I should have done, but I've now since rewatched Fury Road. The character is just written so well, I think. They did everything they needed to do. When I say that it should have been longer, I think there's some truth in that. I think it could have been in 2 parts. And I know you feel the same, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I agree. I also really, really, really loved it. Maybe not top 3 film of the year. Loved it, but I think everything that's in the movie is spectacular. I think especially the first maybe 15 minutes is so, with the mom kind of chasing them and trying to get to the daughter, is so good. And I think the film kind of goes down a gear for a bit after that for me, when we're just kind of with Chris Hemsworth, and you're seeing this girl and she kind of goes from point A to B to C. And I think the movie wants to tell us a lot of story, and there is a lot of story there, but the film kind of fast forwards through it. And then I think once kind of Anya Taylor-Joy comes into the film, like it kind of becomes like excellent again. It kind of reminded me of like Arya Stark, like if you watch like Game of Thrones, right, and you see her journey to become like this person. And this film kind of has to, because it's a short film, not short, but it is a film, has to kind of fast forward through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I would watch a TV show version of this because it's so good. But then you miss out on the spectacle. Like, this is a big screen experience.
Yeah.
So on that level, I'm pretty happy with the film.
Yeah. It's testament to the movie that we think it should be longer, that we want to explore more about, her childhood at least as well. Because I was really enjoying every part of the movie. I think I agree that it did dip a little bit, but at no point did I there's some movies you just forget that you're sitting watching a movie, and I think that
Yeah.
that happened for a little while.
I needed to pee about a little halfway through the movie, and that made me feel like the movie was longer than it
Longer.
actually was because I was like, I really need to go,
Yeah.
right? Um, and so when I walked out, I was like, man, what a long movie. But that's only because I had to really go. But the fact that I didn't run out to the bathroom means that there was never a point where I felt like I could go. Because
Exactly.
usually, if that happens in a movie, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna run out for like a minute and then like be back. Doesn't matter, right? I didn't feel that this way. I was like, I didn't want to run out during an action sequence because I was like, oh, I'll miss something cool. I didn't want to run out during the middle sequence because I was like, I'll miss like some big plot development. So that's again a plus for the movie, I think. What do you feel about the performances?
I think the performances were great. I think I don't think there's anything I can say bad about the casting at all, and obviously again with all these background characters, the production design and the costume is just fantastic.
Yeah.
The world building here is incredible, like second to none, really.
It's so imaginative, all the little things
Mm.
that they do, like Chris Hemsworth's like costume, the sons Rectus and Rectum and Erectus or something, um,
Rotus, yeah.
like the way all the Gas Town and Bullet Town, all of them kind of work. The politics of it all is just very exciting to Chris Hemsworth's having the time of his life. I loved watching him,
Yeah.
kind of just unhinged and doing his thing.
Yeah. There was a
Anya Taylor Joy, I think, is a movie star. Like when she's on screen, like she really you want to watch her.
Yeah, and I really believe that, she's made some really good choices too, so that every role that she plays, you don't think about her in another role. She's never
Yeah,
been sort of attributed to one role, and then you can't forget that she's done that one.
yeah,
Yeah, I believe
and
100% that she's Furiosa.
absolutely. And there's the guy who's with her, like kind of her love interest guy.
Yeah.
He had such a great look. I have no idea who this actor is. I've never seen him in anything, but I was like so intrigued by him, even though he doesn't do much. But there's just something about him that's just very disarming, I felt.
Yeah, and there's
I
some.
don't mean that literally, by the way, because Furiosa gets her arm cut off, but
Good one.
just disarming, just disarming.
Yeah, he's cast really well, and there's just enough of that, because I don't know about you, but I believe that there was romance there,
Yeah,
but they didn't go fully into that, and they didn't need to. And
no,
she's not about that. She's got bigger fish to fry, I think, Furiosa. So if she'd have gone and fallen in love with somebody, and then they'd followed that narrative for the rest of the film, I think it would have just taken away
it
from
and it
her.
makes so much sense for that world too. And even when he, spoiler dies, we don't have a screen of her like screaming into the air and watching him die. He just kind of dies off screen almost.
Yeah.
Um, and I think again that's such a great testament to what this movie is and like how well it understands its characters. Comparing this to Fury Road, what do you think? I mean, a lot of people thought Fury Road just a long car chase. How do you feel about that, and what do you feel about those car chase sequences?
I mean, it is a long car chase, and there's a lot of. I don't feel the same about this movie. This movie isn't just a long car chase because it's broken up more than Fury Road is, I think. I feel sort of similar in the way that I do about Dune because you think of them as one movie, and because this
Yeah,
flows so seamlessly, and they have the clips of Fury Road at the end. You just sort of think, oh, okay, yeah, no, it's one movie. Um,
yeah. I
but
think
I
I
think I might have enjoyed it more than I remember enjoying Fury Road.
I think I agree with you. I think it doesn't one up anything from Fury Road. I think Fury Road still has maybe better action sequences,
Hmm.
but I think this is a better movie overall. Um, it had action sequences that match it, maybe, and I think the story is more interesting and there's more of it.
Yeah.
And I almost wish that this movie had come out first and Mad Max came out second, because like you said, it does feel like these two movies, like Mad Max feels like this long climax of this film. Like it could just be the third act of the movie, that of Fury Road, or Furiosa almost.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think I feel that way as well. I don't know how it would have gone. I wonder how we would have enjoyed them differently if they'd have come out. Furiosa would have come out first. Um, but at the ending as well, I just want to talk about the ending quickly because I thought it was excellent, and I wondered how they were going to end the thing. I mean, I look at my watch because I'm interested in, at what point different acts end. Um,
Yeah,
but I looked at my watch and I thought, how is this going to end? And I thought they were just going to leave it as I mean, it's still a little bit of a mystery. Is that true, what they told us at the end
yeah.
about the tree? Who knows? But I thought that was excellent. Really good. Really well done.
I think so too. I think as a revenge film, it feels very satisfying. I love revenge films, and I've seen a lot that don't have that satisfactory ending, but this feels really good. You feel like, okay, she's got what she needed out of this, and you as the audience kind of do as well. So I really kind of love that, and how easily it flows into Fury Road as well at the same
Mm.
time. So I
Yeah.
think that was, yeah.
And I hate a happy ending. So it's not an entirely happy ending at all. She's lost an arm. She's lost so much, but she's
Yeah.
got revenge on the one person that she wanted to. So,
Right. And if you really think about it, she is kind of the hero of this. It's called the Mad Max saga, but she kills, Chris Hemsworth, and she does kill Immortum Joe in Mad Max as well. So
yeah,
she is the person who kills the bad guys in both these films. So you do get like this badass kind of female action hero.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. 100% agree.
which I know you hate,
Oh,
based
hey,
on
why? Give it to
the
Chris.
is there anything else you want to add that you feel like we haven't talked about?
I don't think so, no. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I may go see it again, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking of seeing it in 4DX. To be honest, I did some readings. It says, like, not readings, I like some Reddit reviews and all these things, and everybody seems to say that like it is an excellent, amazing like 4DX experience. The only movie I've ever watched in 4DX is Top Gun Maverick, and I absolutely loved it. So I feel like this might give me similar vibes.
Yeah.
Throw some sand on my face and some of that piss.
Yeah. I think anything with vehicles involved is going to be good in 4DX, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess this brings us towards the end. I do want to know, out of 10 um, teddy bears, how many teddy bears would you
I tell you,
give
we didn't even
Furiosa?
talk about the fact that the teddy bear looks like Mr. Bean's teddy bear.
Oh, it does. I didn't realize this.
I'm going to give Furiosa, I'm still on a high with it, so who knows if this rating might change, but I'm going to give Furiosa 8.5 teddy
Oh,
bears.
okay. Before I came in, I was going to give it 7.8 teddy bears, like maybe cut off one of its limbs and make it 7.8. But you've talked me up a little bit. I'll go up to an 8. Uh,
Okay,
I think it's a great 8 film.
definitely,
Thank you
yeah.
so much for joining me today, Katie. And everybody else, thank you for listening to our review of Furiosa. We have other reviews on the channel. Enjoy, and up until next time, stay switchy? No, don't. I think that's a good place to end.